Being a parent can be really challenging. Child and Family Resource Network focuses on connecting pregnant parents and those with kids under the age of 5 with free support services to help them on their parenting journey. Everyone deserves someone they can turn to for help with parenting. Visit childandfamilyresourcenetwork.org today.
All right, it's time once again for another edition of the Print Factory. Before we get into it, if you like this podcast, be sure to subscribe and leave a review and rating over on iTunes, Android, or wherever you listen to these podcasts. It really helps us out a ton. We appreciate it. All right, let's get right into this.
Oh, you didn't know? Your ass better call somebody.
It's me. It's that B-I-G-T. All right, it is time once again for another edition of the Print Factory. Special edition this week. We've been trying to do this for a while now. It gets busy. I mean, when you're on with two goats like these guys, it's tough to get everyone together, but we got EmpireMaker and CSURAM today, so we got a special edition. Tons of stuff to get to. First of all, Empire, what's going on, my man?
Not much. I know we've tried to do this like 5 times now, and I'm always traveling, and it's kind of hard when you're like partying and stuff, and I was like, when I finally am home for a week, we'll do it. And this is probably the best week to do it for these playoff games.
I mean, it's a tough life when you're traveling to San Diego for months. You're going on yachts. You got putting greens behind you in your high rise. I mean, life is good when you're the Empire Maker.
Yeah. Some days. Yesterday
yes, you. What's going on, my man?
Oh, just joyful to be graced by 2 legends here, and yeah, excited. We got a lot of good stuff going on in sports. Pumped that we're finally together. We've been trying to get this going for a while, and yeah, perfect time to chat about it. A lot of good material in the DFS world, in the sports world, and yeah, let's get into it.
We need to start right away, though, with Empire said this yesterday on Twitter. I know I've played golf with you, I don't know how many times now, 20 or 30. Every time I pay you money because you're just that good. Empire said he got the best of you this summer, though. We need to hear how this took place. Empire, what happened here?
So basically, I think what happened is like we played 18 holes of golf. It wasn't like super high stakes, but Brandon's always
super not high stakes, only like 100K this time?
500,000 a hole or something. And then Brandon's always itching to play more. So we actually drive to another course. And it's probably like 5, so we can get 9 holes in. And it's me and Brandon playing 2 balls each for CSU, Wilson.
3 balls. Oh, yeah, two balls. That's right. We
have 2 balls each, and it's best ball. And like, you can press at any time.
You guys both got to hit twice, you and BA.
Yeah.
So 4 balls total.
Yeah. And, you know, I think on the first hole, I drained like a 40-foot putt.
No surprise.
Yeah, and then second hole on a par 5, I put it to like 8 feet, eagle it.
Who was on the other team?
Cleared up, so there's a press, so it goes double on like hole 5. And then me and BA just shoot lights out. Because when you get 2 balls, we're like the most erratic golfers ever, but like we would have 1 ball in play.
Yeah.
3 out of bounds, have 1 in play. And, I think we closed them out on like the 8th hole. We go to dinner. I think we won like 80K or something.
Low stakes, you said too. That was a pretty low stakes match, only 80K.
No, I'm saying the other matches where we go to dinner. CSU has like 1 glass of wine. He's like, I'm not feeling good, guys. He like lays on the floor. About to pass out. He's like, I think I have to go home. I don't know if it was the golf or the altitude.
The altitude. CSU, what's going on with this?
All right. Well, Empire left out like a bunch of details.
Well, let's get them.
Okay. So, I mean, this whole trip it's Finney, Wilson 1, Brandon Adams, Stephen Bass, Empire, and I. So all of the gambling throughout the whole week is basically revolving around Brandon. Brandon wants to make these like long out bets so he can train. So he's playing Bass, he's playing me. The last day I have a match versus him, and it was real stakes. We played, he was getting 5-1 to beat me straight up the match, and then we had a match that was straight up where he was getting strokes. And
What kind of golfer is BA?
BA is erratic, just like Empire. And we had played some matches before, like, probably the funnest round earlier in the trip was like Empire and I versus like Finney and Bass in a scramble. But historically, BA has not been into the scrambles. So I started off choking versus BA, ended up playing well down the stretch, got the monkey off my back. I was really nervous, to be totally honest, and beat BA. And then we were chatting and we're trying to figure out another match that we can do over, basically a scramble. So there's a ton of negotiation on the scramble. Empire and BA ended up getting 2 balls each. We forced them to actually hit them. They had to go BA, Empire, Empire, BA. So they couldn't hit twice in a row, versus Bass, Finney, and I. And I think the big mistake that we made relatively was the upside of BA and Empire was just so high, because both BA and Empire can hit it farther than Bass or I. So we get to the scramble. Empire was exactly right about that. I mean, he played the best I've ever seen him play by a mile. We thought we had flipped the match because we did a press in hole 3 at Country Club of the Rockies, which is a par 3. I put it to like 8 feet. We were looking really good for birdie. And of course, Empire in the fucking 4th shot drains a 40-footer, like his second 40-foot bomb on the last shot, within 2 holes. And, a couple holes later, Finney actually stuffs one to like 2 feet, and we square up the match and go 1 up on the press. So we're all talking, and we go to the next hole, and this is where the whole match swung. BA and Empire both hit like 4 balls all over the map. Empire's 2 shots were out of bounds. BA hit huge slices, but one of them banked off the hill, and they had like, somewhat of a lie. So of course it's a scramble, and, you can replace your ball, and that's where Empire just went to proceed to make a birdie on every single hole on his own. So it was a lot of fun, but Empire definitely played lights out. It was my best day of golf in the summer, and I still somehow lost money. And then, of course, I don't think it was the gambling, but the wine, the altitude, maybe the CBD drink. I also
think when you're not that consistent at golf, playing like 4 days in a row helps a ton with getting a little consistent. I'm like, I should do this all the time, but I'm just too busy gambling.
Empire has huge upside though. Like in the first day scramble when we were playing legitimately low stakes, like whatever, 500 a hole or something, in a scramble, Empire got it on the green from 300 yards out with his 3-wood. I mean, the guy's got serious upside.
I mean, I've seen him. He's a stone cold killer. I've seen him on the course.
I don't think I've ever won money from Empire in golf. And of course on Twitter, he's talking about how I'm the massage master. Empire is the king of negotiation.
Does he do it too, Empire, like he does me, where Empire will make a birdie and he just starts fully stroking you, Empire? Is that what he does?
Well, he's always saying like, that's the best I've ever seen you swing it. That's his line.
Oh, he loves it.
Maybe play a little bigger on the back, like you're looking good. Then I'll shoot like a 38. That's your massage.
Getting 2 shots though that's a massive edge, I think. I mean,
yeah,
we played really well. I mean, throughout the trip there was a lot of choking and some bad golf, but that scramble. I mean, I think the 3 of us in 3-man scramble were 5 or 6 under through 9 holes, and I think Empire and BA were legitimately 9 under. They didn't have to putt on the last hole because they made eagle on the second, on the hole number 2, the par 5. Because of course Empire with a long iron in his hand is just like Hendrik Stenson or something.
Getting 4 balls though, like, I don't know.
It's a fun game. It's a fun game when you're playing like 2 or 3 decent golfers.
And the best part is we finally got BA to do some scrambles because BA always wants these like death matches that take like freaking forever, 1-on-1 or whatever.
Lots of mental warfare.
Yeah. Finally, we got him to loosen up and have a little fun with the scramble. So hopefully we'll have some more of those in the future.
When do we get to watch the frying pan rematch?
Levitan versus Bass. I don't know, but Bass and BA just recently booked their next tennis match.
Again?
Yeah.
They just keep going at it? Is BA getting closer?
BA won recently, so.
That was this summer when I was back there, I think, wasn't it?
Yeah, he won in the same spot at Indian Wells in Palm Springs. So price is $250, but it sounds like a huge edge to Bass. But Bass recently had a kid, and he's been playing a lot of paddle instead of tennis. So it's an interesting match.
Paddle? What in the world is paddle?
Good question. I don't know.
It's like ping pong kind of, and you play in a gym, and it's like a short, it's like a short net. I don't know. It's like a good couples game.
He goes out there with his lady?
Yeah, it's like you're using like a ping pong paddle almost.
Yeah, it's in a netted area. I've seen people play. You play off like the fence a lot, and
I would say it's like a mix between ping pong, badminton, and tennis. If I haven't played it though.
Who does he play against?
He plays in all these leagues. He's not like one of the best players in the state. He's traveling to California. He's got all these trips lined up.
He'll play paddle?
Yeah, a real paddle.
How many paddle people can there be out there?
There's like professional paddle league. It's pretty.
Yeah, he's really in it. He went to like LA to play in a tournament. I mean, legit Bass has gotten really, really into paddle and is traveling for it. I mean, so that doesn't really translate.
He's probably going to be the future world champ. Maybe in like.
I believe that. He's got to be good at it. Like putting all that stuff. I mean,
he's legit good at it. He said there's only one guy in Colorado who's definitively better. Already,
crazy.
And the guy is just a legend.
When I was watching the football game at B-Dubs a few weeks ago, and after the football game, this competition comes on ESPN2. It's a legitimate drywall competition. Like these dudes, did you see that?
No.
They're legitimately putting like electric and drywall up next to each other, and there's a clock and there was fans, and it was one of the craziest things I've ever seen.
Oh my God, I gotta check that out.
It was good stuff. But let's hop into some NFL, and then we'll circle back to a few other things.
Let's save the NFL. We got to talk Giannis.
Well, what do you want to get into here?
Let's talk
I'll
Giannis.
talk about two things, like the Kyrie haters and Giannis being bad.
The Kyrie what?
I think Kyrie's amazing, and like people on Twitter are saying like Spencer Dinwiddie's a better player than him. I'm like, this is so egregious. Look at their stats right now. Kyrie literally is ahead in every stat, even blocks and steals. Dinwiddie does nothing better. I think it's because
people think Dinwiddie is better than Kyrie.
I don't know. These people like Dinkmeyer.
Dink hates Kyrie. Dink hates him so much.
But like they went on that run, and now they're like 1-9 in their last 10.
Of course.
Yeah, it's like people don't understand how good Kyrie is.
You're speaking to the leader of the Kyrie club. Although I will say, as someone that loves Kyrie, he has talked way too much the last 2 years. Whenever he opens his mouth, something bad comes out.
I think he's trolling though. He went to Duke, but he keeps talking about flat Earth and like he's a troll.
See, yeah, he. I hope he's trolling. Put it that way.
Oh, he's trolling. He's
CSU. I know you like Kyrie too. We're kind of all on Kyrie.
This whole podcast, I mean, we're all big Kyrie supporters, and I've argued with Dink forever. And I think the underrated thing about Kyrie, when you just look at like his stats, is like when you get into the playoffs, like being able to create your own shot and do it somewhat efficiently is just wildly underrated. And all Kyrie's one-on-one stuff, while it might not be like the most efficient basketball during the regular season, in the playoffs, it's so valuable. And we saw that with the run on Cleveland, and I mean, he's just unguardable. So I'm a huge Kyrie guy. He can step up his defense, and the stats have borne that out too. I mean, he's just awesome, and yeah, huge Kyrie supporter. I think Dink is.
Even his stats this year are like amazing.
Yeah,
he was really good before he came down with this whatever injury.
I just don't get it. I mean, he definitely takes games off. I think that's why people hate on him, but
for sure. But who doesn't? Like,
he's definitely
all these guys do.
A top 15 player for sure, I think.
And like people forget when they won that title, this dude was every bit as good as LeBron in that series.
Yeah,
like
he
was unbelievable in that series for them to win.
Yeah. I don't know. I think people group him with Westbrook, and it's like they're not good.
And they couldn't be more different. Like they're not even the same type player.
No. Westbrook is just egregious this year.
No.
Josh, imagine trading Westbrook for Chris Paul, and Chris Paul is playing out of his mind right now.
I'm with you on Chris Paul too. Like I
love Chris Paul.
Empire, do you like Chris Paul with us too?
Oh, yeah, he has that stigma that he can't win in the playoffs, but it's like
he's got so unlucky too. Like
he's
super unlucky.
Well, Blake got hurt a bunch, and like he can't do it all on his own.
2 years ago,
they beat the Warriors. They're like one of the best teams of all time, and he gets his hamstring. They're up 3-2.
That series was over too. Like they were better than them.
That Clippers run, when he beat the Spurs, and the Spurs were awesome, and he had that game winner on a bad hammy. I mean, Chris Paul, I think, is one of the best point guards ever, and wow.
It's like him and Magic and, like, I don't know who else, maybe Stockton.
Yeah, it depends on, like, Oscar Robinson, depending how you classify him. I mean.
Yeah, he's top 3 of all time.
Did you see him last night when they were playing the Westbrook tribute and he was like shaking hands and stuff? Like he was disgusted by the love Westbrook was getting.
Yeah, he was just so loyal though. Yeah.
Oh, I get it completely why it happened the way it happened, but like Chris Paul they basically he was so good for Houston the last couple of years and Houston just couldn't wait to get rid of him.
I think they didn't think he could make it through a full season and Westbrook's just.
Oh. It was the Harden Chris Paul beef. That's why they got rid of him.
I know, but
what was the beef? Why did they start hating each other?
I think Chris Paul's tough to be around. I think that's.
Well, I think he's a perfectionist, and Harden, like, I don't know, parties a lot and whatever.
Harden definitely likes to have fun.
He likes the strip clubs.
He likes bounce.
Maybe.
So Giannis. What do you think about Giannis?
Yeah. Can I ask you? You said he's the 6th best player. Who was the 5 player?
I think I ranked him lower than 6.
He ranked him 8th.
8?
This is not count. Like I'm not basing it on anything regular season. If I want to win a title, he's my 8th pick. I think.
So LeBron, AD, Kawhi.
Put me on the spot because I don't have my list in front of me. But
Harden. Who else?
The 2 Lakers, the 2 Clippers, Harden, obviously
Paul
Luka.
George is better than Giannis?
In a playoff series, I'd rather have Paul George than Giannis.
Wow, okay.
I'd for sure rather have Luka because Luka's like my hero right now.
Yeah, I think you might put Jokic on there too.
No, I didn't put Jokic that. Jokic was in the 11, 12, 13 with Embiid and Cat, where they were all pretty close to me. I'm trying to think of who the 7th was. The 2 Lakers, the 2 Clippers, Luka, Harden, and one other person. Who was the 7th? He might have been 7th on my list.
Oh, he was 8th. I remember he was 8th.
Where's this? Let me see this list. Who else would it have been? Here. Yeah, I think it was actually Durant, just because that was everybody was making fun of me too because I put the injured guys on my list. But you have to, I think, on a list. Like, where would you put KD? Like, you have to get him up in there.
After Achilles is better than Giannis. That seems bad.
I mean, it could be. Forget about the KD part anyways. Even if he was 7th. And then 9th, Curry's hurt and Jimmy Buckets. But, okay, Empire, what's your top 10?
My top.
Where's Giannis at, first of all?
Giannis is 1.
You really would take, going into this year's playoffs, you would seriously take Giannis 1?
100%. It's not even close.
It's not even close, too.
No, it's not even close.
Oh, Big T is shook right now.
I mean.
It matters, like, for second, I would either take, I think Kawhi maybe in the playoffs. Either Kawhi or Harden. And then I would have the 2 Lakers. And I think I would put LeBron 4, 85. And I would put Luka 6. And then after that, I don't know if it matters. Those are my top 6 for sure.
What about you, CSU?
Yeah, those are the 6 best players.
Are you taking Giannis first, too?
I'd probably still give the nudge to LeBron at this point, but
where's Giannis at in your rankings? How could you possibly Empire?
LeBron
You cannot take Giannis over LeBron in a playoff series.
Lost like 5 games? They're like 35? I'll have to look up the record, but
Giannis is clearly the best regular season player.
Oh, even I would say that, like, because he's built for the regular season.
he's literally unstoppable. He can get to
He's not unstoppable because you just don't guard him. I'm like, I can't believe you would take him over LeBron. I'm sure.
I bet the Celtics do that. They just have 5 guys in the paint, and he just has to hit 3 after 3.
He's not going to hit 3 after 3.
Well, I'm saying I just don't trust their coaching, the Bucks. And they don't play him enough in the playoffs. He needs to play like –
I already know what's going to happen, too, is the best part. It'll be on this pod, and we can circle back, and you guys can make fun of me later. But when it comes to the playoffs, everyone's going to be like, oh, he doesn't have enough help. It's his coaches. No, it's that the dude doesn't have to get guarded.
It is his coaching. He needs to play more.
I mean, what is he going to play, 48 minutes?
he plays like 37 minutes in the playoffs. He has to go up to like 45.
Because he gets tired. He's got long legs. He's skinny.
That guy never gets tired.
I mean, this dude, oh, my God.
Now, they're going to win it because DiVincenzo is good now, too.
Oh. I can't go on this pod anymore. Yeah, you heard me.
Who's going to beat them in the East?
Oh, anybody.
No, why?
Philly.
No chance.
I just don't like Milwaukee.
Philly has the two.
-5 away. If Philly's better, they're -5 on Christmas Day away.
Yeah, I mean.
So that's like -10 at home.
That's regular season, though.
Philly does have the two right guys to slow Giannis down, and Horford, who's been the kryptonite for Giannis historically, and Embiid. So but I like Milwaukee over Philly still.
So you guys both like Milwaukee to go to the finals.
Obviously.
Well, I know you do because you just like Giannis number one.
I think the three top teams are like pretty even. I just think the Lakers need like one more player.
All these teams should. I mean, the Clippers are the only team that doesn't really need to upgrade, but the Lakers are for sure going to get a piece. Like, where's Iggy going to end up? Iggy has to end up somewhere.
Oh, I was hoping they got Bogdanovich. He would be perfect.
Oh, that would be.
Could you imagine if they got that trade, Kuzma for Bogdan?
I love how overrated Kuzma is by the Lakers nation. It's unbelievable. I mean,
but I don't think you're going to be playing like Avery Bradley and Rondo and all these bums like in the playoffs. Maybe Rondo.
Yeah. No, they need Collison.
What's that?
They need Collison. I mean, you act like guys like George. You're laughing at Collison, and you're dependent on George.
What Collison are you talking about? Nick or Darren?
No, I do like Nick Collison, but Darren Collison's fine. He's not even old.
That sucks.
No, you're dependent on George Hill and Brooke Lopez. Like,
George Hill look at George Hill's stats this year. He's amazing.
He's old.
Yeah, and
God, I can't wait till the playoffs.
He really has the best.
He's so good.
He has the best true shooting in the league, dude.
Oh, I can't wait until the playoffs. It's my favorite time of the year every year.
The problem is the East is not going to be interesting. They're just going to steamroll everyone.
I don't think it's going to be as easy as you think.
Miami.
Yes, you got to weigh in here. You're just the silent assassin here. You got to chime in.
I mean, I think Kawhi, LeBron, and Giannis are the three clear top picks. You can make an argument for all three of them, I think, pretty easily. I mean, LeBron's history, and he certainly looks rejuvenated and healthy relatively this year, and his passing is certainly ahead of those other two guys. Kawhi, we saw what he did last year. He's resting. I mean, his defense, while it's not like vintage Spurs defense, I don't think he's quite the same athlete with all the leg stuff that he's had to deal with. His offense has gotten much more efficient.
He never misses.
Yeah, his offense is ridiculous now. And Giannis, I mean, his defensive, I mean, I think the one thing you underrate, Tony, is how impactful Giannis is defensively.
Defense and offense are, the same importance, and he's by far the best defender.
Yeah. So it's those three guys, then it's probably AD for me, and then Luka and Harden. I think those are the clear six. And, when Durant comes back, hopefully he's at that same level. And, I'd love to see Steph come back healthy.
I forgot about Curry. I would put Curry up there too.
Yeah. I mean, those guys are all awesome. And guys trending hard. Like Pascal is not in the same tier, obviously, but he's really coming on. You have all the bigs. We'll see Embiid has looked just like a total monster at times and then disappeared. Jokic is starting to play really well again. Denver's looking that they could make some noise. So I don't know. It should be an awesome playoff. I mean,
it's like we did that draft last year. I took Giannis first and everyone was laughing at me.
Yeah, they should have laughed at you.
You get him for the next 5 years.
But he's going to be the same player 5 years from now.
I mean, his three's already improved. He's a little bit.
That's the best is when Tony.
Airball and free throws, but I don't know what he's doing.
When Giannis is hitting threes and looking good, Tony gets all the beats.
The one game he was.
I haven't really seen those games.
It was the one game, and what day was it? Was it the Christmas game? What game was it?
No, he was bad in that game.
It was one of the primetime games when he hit all the threes, whatever one it was. I got so many messages that night, like, "Whoa, he strokes now."
At least he's taking them. Like Ben Simmons won't even take the shot. Like that's To me,
do you want him taking them though?
Of course, he needs to continue to improve. Like,
Sean Whiteside hit a 3 last night. Like,
did you see that dance he did too? That was amazing.
I mean, Giannis is shooting 32% this year from 3. If he can consistently shoot 32%,
he is lit. So this is Dean always throws.
His argument is that he's open every play.
He is literally wide open.
Of course.
CSU. Well, okay, right now we've talked about this a time.
It's up to like 35%. That's a fine shot.
What would you shoot CSU right now with that outfit on, your sweater or whatever you're wearing, your jeans? Right now, NBA 3, butt naked open.
Yeah, the NBA.
What percentage?
50%.
Okay, thank you.
In a game, though, like, you get tired.
It wouldn't matter. You're just literally walking. You're
not
walking
shooting 50% in a game.
Yeah, of course not. Not in a game. I'm just saying, like, wide open. I think
there's still a guy, like, kind of chasing you down and putting an
Not with him, there's not.
Okay.
He's literally wide open. Like, watch it. He's literally wide open.
In a game context, it completely changes everything. I mean, I probably shoot 40% in a game context, even super wide open, because you're tired and there's all these other moving parts. But
you're not tired when people don't guard you.
I've done the NBA, just shooting in rhythm. I feel very confident shooting over 55% from 3, NBA 3.
Like just open, not tired?
Not tired, just shooting, like going around, shooting.
I would say you're higher than that, but NBA players can make like 20 in a row.
Oh yeah. Like a guy like Booker, like I would bet on him to make over 80.
Of course.
I mean, easily over 80 too.
When I start playing, I shoot way worse. I mean, Empire, we just played recently and I shot like 20% from 3.
Who won this matchup? I need to hear more about this.
We watched him.
Who was it?
Bass and I, and then this guy Nick, that was our big weakness, was my offense, and we had a guy who's just overweight and can't play defense. Versus Empire, this kid John, who is by far the best player. And this other
he would just run a pick and roll every play. I would like throw him like a lob, and he would just put it in.
He was unstoppable. He had the best player.
So Empire got the best on the court and the links.
Empire always gets the best.
I mean,
I'm putting the pieces together. I can't shoot it all, but I hit like 3 game winners. That's the only shots I hit.
Literally, that is true. Empire was like 0 for 9 and then hits the game winner.
It all sounds right. I mean, it's exactly how it happens with him.
I know who to give it to. I'm just throwing up to this dude, and he's just throwing it down.
Empire's got some deceptive length. That's one thing that is in favor of Giannis too. But should be in the playoffs.
I still feel bad about when I got Empire on film at the Wrigley Field, and he got just the worst pitching ever. This pitcher was egregious, and I framed it. I feel bad because people were getting on him, but I blame the pitcher just as much as the swing.
That was his first batter, and he was just throwing me like dirt balls. I was also hungover as fuck. I think I whiffed like 9 in a row, and I hit like a grounder on the last one. I'm like, I quit. Hopefully no one has this on video.
Hopefully no one has this on video.
My friend like works for the Cubs. She's like, oh, I got a really good video. I'm like, throw that away. No one wants to see that.
Oh. Well, also, while I got you guys on, our boy Bad Girl, he sent a good question because a lot of people like to know about things like this. You guys play at some of the highest stakes anyone can play. He wants to know what do you do when you hit a little downswing, Empire?
If it's really bad, I will take like a week off and maybe go on vacation because at that point I think you need to like clear your mind and not think about DFS or betting at all. And I feel like when I'm in a bad downswing, I'm not playing as well too. I'm not taking as much time to research. I'll maybe start like an hour before the slate, and that's not enough time. So like I think you just need to recharge at that point and come back. Like not worry about, because you're always thinking about like, oh, I need this much to get out of this hole. You're not really thinking about playing well. You're thinking about getting even. So I'll just go on vacation for a little bit and come back and try to forget about what happened.
That's when you go to San Diego for 3 weeks?
No, I'll go to like whatever, Mexico or something and not look at my phone.
CSU, what do you think? What do you do on some of these downswings?
Yeah, I'm trying to do the same thing Empire laid out. It's just tough when it's in the fall. I think the big thing for sure is getting time away. I mean, just even like for me, I love going skiing or trying to go somewhere warm to play golf. Just doing something other than thinking about gambling or DFS or whatever is definitely the move. I mean, you come back so much more refreshed, in a good mind state. And when you're losing, when you're thinking about everything that can go wrong and you're not thinking
you lose your confidence too. Like confidence is pretty important. Like
when you're losing, you're never going to make like the savvy 2v2 that's going to be more leveraged and low owned. And
it's even better if you're like not even playing, but you're like, oh, I'm going to study lineups for like a few days, like of the top players. Like maybe see if I'm doing something wrong. They're doing something other than me that I'm missing. So I'll do that too. I might study for a few days instead of playing.
It's got to be one of the craziest because a lot of people don't know, like being professional gamblers and stuff. Like it's brutal. I don't play a fraction of the stakes you guys play, but even for me, I've had some dirty swings where you're up a ton and then you lose a ton and you go from literally like the cockiest person ever, I can't lose. And then all of a sudden you're like, can I even win at this? Like it's just crazy, the swings, and it's brutal.
Yeah.
People act like it's so easy. It's not easy when you just downswing. I was actually
having this conversation with someone yesterday. I'm like, just take a week off, you'll come back and you'll feel better. You'll play better.
It's almost like a fresh start too. I like what you said where it's like you keep trying to chase it, but if you take a week off and come back, maybe you can go back to your normal limit. You're not just over chasing.
You also like might be playing in worse games then. Like even in poker, you're like, well, this is the only way I can get even is playing games I might not be winning in, but I'm going to do it anyways.
Yeah. Cause you've done it. You were playing on party poker in the early days too. Like you had to have some nasty swings with online poker.
Yeah, not at the start because it was so easy, but.
What was that dude? I always send you the video. What's that great YouTube?
Tough Fish.
Tough Fish. Anyone that's out there listening, one of the best YouTube videos.
It's pretty hard to go on downswings versus like that.
Tough Fish is so filtered.
Games started getting tougher, you could definitely go on bad downswings. And I was terrible at coping with it then. But I've gradually learned to get better at it.
It's got to be one of the most important traits, though, to being a professional gambler is anyone can play good when they're winning. Like, that's easy. Yeah. It's way harder when you're losing.
Because then you're just like, oh, I'll just bet on this Sunday night football game, too, and not winning at that. You're just like, when I play now, I'm like, I have to know, like, that I'm winning in games or I don't play in them, I guess.
It's easy when you win in all the games you play in.
You have to be, yeah.
Well, let's hop into some football real quick. First of all, the last time I was on here with CSU, I got to address this. You made fun of me about my boy Taysom, and since then, this guy's been dragging his shaft all around the field. What do you got to say about my boy Taysom?
What did I make fun of you about for Taysom?
When me and Wilson were on there, and I said he's the best player of the Thanksgiving slate, and then he scored 2 touchdowns.
Oh, you
were right. How are you going to play Taysom?
I mean, tell me this guy's not. Do what?
Is he a quarterback eligible? You're going to play him in what, a tournament?
First of all, on the show, it was the Thanksgiving, so there was a showdown. He's tight end on FanDuel.
I've never looked at playing him. I don't know.
Yeah, see, that's what he was making fun of me. That's the same.
I mean, that makes like a little sense.
Well, of course you can't play him at quarterback. Like, yeah, obviously.
Yeah, I thought he would be. That's his position, though, right?
Yeah, he shouldn't be quarterback though. It's a whole different discussion. But like, he's not a quarterback.
We need a replay of the tape on what I said about Taysom. But
I'm sure
I'm trying to channel my big T. But in other formats, like tight end on FanDuel.
I guess, yeah, but his upside's like what? Like 2 touchdowns and like 20 yards rushing?
No, he showed you his upside on Sunday.
I didn't see what he did.
He had like a 60-yard pass. He had like 50 yards rushing and like 30 yards and a touchdown receiving.
Jesus. Well, I don't know. I think they kind of screw themselves up bringing him in.
You still don't like him when he comes in?
No, because like I like him if it's 3rd and 2 or less or 4th and 2 and less. I think he should be in the game, but I don't think you can justify it other than that.
He's so
Maybe
good.
Some first downs, like if you're thinking he's going to get like 5 yards of run.
Like he runs routes now though. Like he scored touchdowns in the passing game.
I didn't know he was a receiver now.
He just scored last week as a receiver.
Oh shit. Okay. Well, that's why you're the GOAT.
No, I'm right about like two things.
That seems like siege level.
Believe me, he scored like 10 touchdowns this year.
Well, I don't remember bashing Taysom Hill. I really don't.
That's because he's been so good the last like this was 6 weeks ago before he started goating all over the place.
I mean, if you said it, then I definitely. I mean,
you weren't like going egregiously making fun of me, but when I said he was the best play of the slate, and you guys kind of looked at each other laughing at me a little bit.
Well, that probably wasn't an egregious take that he was the best player.
He scored twice that day.
Yeah.
Noted, you could say that about a lot of guys. I don't know if, they were the best play that week.
Yeah.
Every time he does something, I tweet about it.
Actually, that one night we did good. We both had him, I think. So
yeah. I've had two good showdown slates. George Kittle, where found the nuts, your big night. That I thought I won as much as Big T, and then realized he fucking chipped the small dollar one, classic, because we had the same team in all the high stakes. And the Taysom Hill, he's gotten there in showdown, which is nice. But in other formats like FanDuel, you play him at tight end. I can see the justification there, but on DraftKings, he's just literally unplayable.
Yeah. Well, you can't play him at quarterback for sure. Like even I say you can't play him at quarterback. Like it'd be stupid.
There's a good chance he's the Saints quarterback next year, though. He's awesome. Like he's such a Swiss Army knife. That conversion he had that ended up not working out with the, I think got called back on,
he could be like a mini Lamar.
Yeah.
I haven't seen him play enough, but he just doesn't seem like he has enough speed.
He's definitely got speed.
The one thing I think he's really durable. Like I don't know if that guy can get hurt. He's so big.
He plays every special team snap too. Like he's in there blocking punts and he's like covering punts.
The best compliment.
He just play everything.
He's like a more athletic version of Tim Tebow.
He was so good last week. He was the only guy that played good for the Saints when they lost. Like that drive when he truck sticked that dude going down the sideline, and then the next play ran for like 30, and then they bring in Breeze the next play and he fumbles. Like I was so tilted.
Yeah. I'll tell you what, I think you're good at Showdown because you only have unique lineups because you're playing some hill.
Hey, it's probably true. I don't deny it for sure. And for sure my worst sport lately has been NBA because I just can't get chalky enough. I always feel like I'm too far off of the good play.
You can't paid like Gordon Hayward at like $3K, That's just
yeah, that was yeah, I don't know if I faded that one, but I agree. So let's look at this NFL real quick this week. We don't have to go super into it, but it's kind of a weird week because you got three big favorites, probably the three best teams left, and then you got the Green Bay game where it's a small spread, small total. First of all, CSU, what do you think of these games?
I think it's an awesome slate. This is one of the best weekends of football, if not the best weekend of football. Got all the good teams, good offenses, and I think you have great options in cash, and you have some really interesting pivots and tournaments. So I'm stoked for the week. I only have one bet. Maybe you guys will think it's fishy. I am on the Ravens. That line continues to move. Empire, curious your thought. I think based on what I'm seeing, everything else looks somewhat efficient to me. If you wanted to, you could.
I like the Ravens. I really like the Seahawks too. I think the Packers are trash, but yeah. I don't know. The two other games I was thinking about, cause the 49ers just played the Saints and they were like kind of thought as a better team. So there might be like a little value on the 49ers cause the Saints were like minus 8.5, right? Versus the Vikings. What was it last week?
Yep.
It closed at 7, but there's still some books.
Okay. So that's probably no bet then. And the other game I can't decide. I like the Seahawks and the Ravens.
The Chiefs line seems really efficient.
Yeah, I think that too.
At home in Arrowhead, Chiefs have gotten really healthy. The defense is playing better. That game is obviously going to be the chalk for fantasy. I think the Texans are an interesting spot for tournaments for sure.
Houston sucks. Like I think Houston's terrible.
But how many games have they gotten blown out where Deshaun Watson is chalk and they were getting beat like 28-3 and going for like 30 fantasy points?
Every time, and it tilts me so hard. Like
that one week they were down by like 28 or something. And
exactly.
With like 2 minutes left. I'm like, why is he still in the game? But I had him. I'm like, this is great.
He's always been great as a trailing quarterback, and his splits with Will Fuller are
easy when they don't care.
Yeah, I swear this was that same matchup. I think these two teams played on one of my biggest days ever in DFS, and I think it was these two teams playing a Sunday night game, and it was when the Sunday night game still was included in the main slate, and I lost a fortune with this dude hitting Hopkins when they were down like 3 touchdowns. This guy's just so good in scrub time.
He's just so good in general. Just the rest
Bortles are the best of all time in scrub time.
Who?
Like Bortles.
Bortles.
The ultimate scrub time.
Like
Bortles, Allen Robinson that one year where he used to just be the straight goods and they were getting trucked. But
they're like running like hurry up, like down 28. It's like,
trying so hard to get those touchdowns.
I think he got hurt during that game and they're still doing it.
But
Big T, what are your picks for the week?
God, first of all, I'm gun shy. I always like to say it. I always try to be honest on here and like tell people how I did. Full disclosure, I drove to Indiana last week. I ended up with like 40 to 50K on New Orleans and Philly, the teasers and straight ups and all kinds of stuff.
You are all in on those teams.
Oh God, I just got wrecked last week. Just destroyed.
I couldn't handle watching that game.
Oh, it was so bad. Oh, and
my weekend wasn't pretty either. I had Bills plus 140, line moved crazy in their favor. That was absolutely tough.
I love the Bills too.
They pushed though, right?
Oh, I had money line. I got the money line.
I had the Titans and the Eagles were the bets I had.
The Eagles was like my favorite game of the season. Like I loved the Eagles in that spot, like so much.
I was on the Eagles too. The only saving grace for me was I got Vikings plus 8 when the whole industry was 7. And that was just an outlier Bovada line. Just classic, you know.
Did you see the McCown news today? I'm sure you did.
Yeah, torn hamstring off the bone.
And he tore it in the second quarter of that game, they said. He played 3 quarters. So not only did they lose Wentz, but their backup 17-year veteran tore the bone off his friggin' hamstring or whatever they said. In the second quarter, he played 3 quarters with no hamstring, basically.
Has any team ever had worse injury luck than the Eagles this year? Because I was on the Eagles too. I mean,
nobody's had worse.
Well, the funniest video is that guy, like, in the parking lot is like, he was like ready to suit up. Did you see that video? Where
it was hilarious.
Best shave of my life.
Yeah, biggest shave of my life.
It's the truth. I mean, how could anyone have had worse injuries than them? The whole freaking team.
They're starting a quarterback from Greg Ward. Like, he's a quarterback.
Exactly. Like, and he was their only receiver. Like, legit.
Number one. That's what he probably shouldn't have bet on.
Remember when we were on Greg Ward in DFS college football, Blake? That was
he was the GOAT.
That was the glory days.
Yeah, he was the man. I don't know this week though. Like, I like San Francisco, but
the one thing I'm staring at and I'm like going crazy is like, I don't want to choose Corey Davis in DFS again.
Oh God, he got a stone donut last week again.
Yep. But that's the Patriots. I mean,
he's pretty bad.
Ravens isn't much better, but
is he super cheap again too?
He's like 38 or 37, 38.
He's so bad.
Value somewhere.
Here's a question for you boys to think about, because I think this is one big decision I think there's a couple big decisions, but one thing to decipher is these running backs. I think Damian Williams is like the lock button, but of the expensive guys, you got Derrick Henry, Dalvin Cook, and Aaron Jones. And depending on the site, you get some different savings. Like Dalvin Cook's much more expensive on DraftKings, so he's going to be less owned, but on FanDuel, he's cheaper than Aaron Jones. And then Derrick Henry, who is always low owned. I mean, Derrick Henry was 6% in the 3K last week. How are you guys thinking about those 3?
Is Jamal Williams out?
No, Jamal Williams is going to play, which makes it tough.
Yeah. I never take Derrick Henry.
No one does. None of the high stakes guys.
I play him every time.
That's a big T play for sure.
I do play him every time.
I know what Big T was going to say. I was trying to tee him up for.
When I played Houston, the guy's like, I know this guy's going to break one for the rushing record in like last play.
You knew he was going to though. Like even you guys knew he was going to break it. Like he always breaks it late.
My theory is like he starts warming up like week 10 because everyone's warming up. He's like Zeke.
It's the truth. This guy's a beast, man. He is. But the
Derrick
problem
Henry
is
saved my ass in best ball.
I would rather take Derrick Henry on FanDuel though.
He's very tough to play on FanDuel at 9,800 though.
I'm just saying he doesn't catch balls.
But
That's what
everyone's
everyone
stuck on
says.
this. But he gets 35 touches.
Versus the Chiefs, he could do some damage.
You had that saying, what'd you say, like the sarcasm font, he doesn't catch balls.
Yeah, it's true though. Like everybody, all the smart people, which again, I respect all the people, like they know all the info and stuff, but just because he doesn't catch his balls, he gets 35 carries. Like he got 34 carries last week.
That's insane.
I mean, it's just insane volume. Can you imagine if they get the lead this week against Lamar? There's a path where Lamar throws an early pick, they get the ground game going.
I just don't see him breaking one versus the Ravens.
The Ravens are much better versus the pass than they are against the run, but
I think they're good overall, but I don't know.
they're a really good defense.
The problem with Henry this week, though, obviously, is if Baltimore gets up a couple scores. I mean, I don't love Henry this week by any means.
They're just probably not going to have the ball that much.
The question for Pete is Ingram going to play?
He is going to play.
For sure?
Yeah, but
I could see that being your guy, too.
No, I actually don't like him. But the guy I wanted to play was Gus. I wanted to play Gus at 4,900.
Gus was going to be the major chalk, and I think Gus might still be a good play, to be honest. I think running back's really tough. I mean,
bad.
Very concentrated ownership on Damian Williams.
And what do you do about this, Pete? So, like, because I want to play Mahomes, well, like everyone does if they don't play Lamar. And can I play Damian too, though?
Of course.
But I don't want to just play all Chiefs because I want to play Kelsey too.
Well, and Tyreek. I mean, come on. Plus Watkins.
That's my problem, though. Like, and Watkins is cheap. So if I'm playing either Kelsey or Tyreek, plus Watkins, plus I can't play just all Chiefs.
And they're all chalk. The Chiefs on DraftKings are super cheap.
Of course.
They're all chalk.
Which they should be.
I think the Millie play is DeMarcus Robinson because he
See, now we're talking. Now I got big play.
Dude, he plays like 70% of snaps. I don't know what happens to him.
Oh.
I mentioned the fish play on the DFS podcast, the double dip with McCole Hardman and I
like it.
But McCole Hardman doesn't play that many snaps. He plays like 20 snaps. They will give him an occasional rush, and he can be a slate breaker with like 3 touches. But
you guys are just getting excited here. You guys messing with me? You guys don't play guys like these.
I mean, you can't. I mean, these are the tournament plays.
You guys are getting excited.
Definitely the sharper play.
There's limited options this week, though. If it's like the regular slate, no way I'm touching these guys. But you got to do something.
Yeah.
Well, the thing for me too that I already know I'm going to do, that I can say it because I know I'm going to do it, is there's no way I'm fading Kelsey or Kittle. Like,
of course.
But I'm playing them together though. Like I'm playing both.
Yeah,
everyone's going to play them together.
That's the catch.
Everyone's playing them together.
Yeah.
See, I don't ever know like the chalk. So everyone's doing that.
Yeah, because think about it. If you look at the slate specifically on DraftKings, they made all the tight ends cheaper. You get Kelsey and Kittle in the low to mid 6Ks, and they're up against like Lockett, AJ Brown, and like
that are more expensive.
And then Aaron Jones, Henry, Dalvin Cook are all like mid 7s.
They should be like Aaron Jones's price or something.
Exactly.
So everyone's going to play these two then. Okay. I'm still going to play them
those two, and they're going to play Damian and the sneakiest plays for sure, which I'll never be able to click, but they're going to be low owned. Or it's like Marshawn Lynch and fucking Travis Homer. I mean, those guys are dusty to me, but no one's going to click that.
They keep having all this coach speak about getting Marshawn more looks.
The good thing about Marshawn is like they want to give him the ball 100% on like the 2 or in. So
and he's going to score. If they get it on the 2, he's scoring.
I put him in that showdown slate. I'm like, this guy is so bad. And he gets that touchdown where he leaps the pile. And then he's about to get another touchdown, but
You're talking about the 49ers game.
They got that delay of game then.
Yeah, when they were on the one, he was going to get a second touchdown. He was so bad in that game too.
He's like the best goal line running back because he just leaps the pile every time and it's unstoppable.
Yeah. Oh,
last week his touchdown was ridiculous. I mean, he got stood up and then just said, "Nope, I'm getting in." I mean,
he still got the power. He's just got no speed.
Yeah, he has to be like the slowest running back of all time in the NFL.
No one's going to play Carlos Hyde and Duke Johnson either. I love Duke Johnson as a player. I don't know why they don't give him the ball. But
Duke Johnson was my first guy that was going in on my team as far as
these are the contrarian.
They're all going to be trailing.
Well, first of all, the team I built, like I started with Mahomes and Kelsey, but that's why I didn't play Damian Williams because I want to play your boy Demarcus Robinson. Like I love that call. When you said that, I definitely went 6 to midnight in a hurry.
Yeah, I mean, he's alive to catch a bomb too. That's what you need. He won't be over 5% either. I think he's 4K.
That's a sharp tournament play, I think.
What about the 49ers running game?
Yeah, Brother Raheem is going to be, I think, somewhat chalky too. And in cash game builds, you have some debates where you want to go. The problem is, I mean, you got Coleman and Breida, and I think Garoppolo can have a lot of success throwing the ball. They also have been doing these little pitches to
and Debo's running back a lot of the time too.
Exactly. That's what I was just saying. They give it to Debo. So it's just
Debo has been
Debo's been up this week.
He's good, man.
Yeah, he's sick.
He is.
And he's been
legit.
getting a few carries a game.
Yeah. Like he could be the slate breaker, Debo. Like he could easily house 2 or 3. He's incredible.
I mean, other than Kittle and Debo, you can't really trust any other players. They got 8 other receivers.
For sure.
I'm looking at this DeMarcus Robinson thing because I've been looking at it. So last week he played 21 of 50 snaps, 2 targets, 1 catch, 24 yards tutter.
I didn't look at last week.
Yeah, he was playing about half the snaps before, but McCole Hardman's it's the same thing. McCole Hardman's 17 of 50 snaps, 1 catch, 30 yards. He is getting the return.
Tournament plays though, for sure.
I just remember I was looking at Showdown one week and he played 70% of the snaps, maybe 4 or 5 weeks ago.
He was playing before Empire, to be clear, he played 62 of 78 snaps versus the Patriots, and the weeks before versus the Broncos, 38 of 68, 35 of 66. I mean, he's clearly who they're using as the number 3. I just wonder about McCole because he's so talented, but man, it's tough. I mean, all these guys are so
Is
fast.
Watkins playing every snap, Pete?
I'm never playing that guy.
That's the problem. I think Watkins is end up being more heavily owned because he's rating well in projection system.
Oh yeah, he always is high owned.
Yeah. And he doesn't do anything.
He has brick hands.
Yeah. I mean, Watkins does have some big games target-wise, but the thing about it is he's 4,300. So in DraftKings, you have 4,300 Watkins, then you got 4,100 Hardman and 4K Robinson. So
obviously the best overall play is Watkins, but he's going to be way higher owned.
Yeah.
He's probably going to have 5 times the ownership of those 2 other guys, I would guess.
In the same range, I think the best play by far in that range is Marquise Brown. He's 4,400.
Yeah, because he just needs 1 catch a lot of the time.
Yeah, exactly. No, I want to play all those guys over.
I think he's a cash play too, Marquise Brown.
So you guys both love Baltimore.
I think Baltimore should be a 13-point favorite.
The problem with Baltimore is Mark Andrews never plays snaps. It's hard to know what to do with him. He's always the wild card.
All the air yards though.
Yeah. If he's on the field, they're throwing it to him.
Yeah. I mean, Mark Andrews had such a huge game against the Browns. I mean, he plays 39 of 73 snaps, but he gets 6 catches, 93 yards, and 2 tutters. I mean, the guy scored 10 touchdowns this year.
The only thing that scares me about the betting on Baltimore is Tannehill seems pretty good. Out of nowhere.
The team me and Chop build on because we do the little show where we build a team and stuff. I think A.J. Brown in a tournament team, especially if you think Baltimore scores a bunch of points, I think A.J. Brown is an incredible run back with just being able to break 1 or 2 deep ones, playing from behind in scrub time. No one's going to play A.J. Brown, no one.
I think he's going to be medium owned.
You think he'll be owned? I don't like him if he's going to be owned.
I think he'll be 15%. Yeah. Maybe 20%.
I think he'll be, in that 15% range. He's going to be, I think he's a great play. And I think a lot of people have that.
I didn't realize he's 6K on. I was speaking more on FanDuel.
7,400 last week or something.
On FanDuel was where we had him.
He's the only receiver I trust on that team too. Other guys,
good. He's 7,400 on FanDuel. That's where you want to.
That's where we built it. It was the FanDuel team because
no one's going to play him there because you got Tyreek at 79, only a little bit more, and then you got a bunch of guys way cheaper like Lockett, Metcalf, Samuel. All those guys are cheaper. So Stephon Diggs.
What's Metcalf on DK or FanDuel?
68 on DK.
Yeah, and he's 7K on FanDuel.
See, I'd probably rather have AJ Brown.
I like AJ this week, especially if Baltimore gets it going.
I mean,
we got to talk about one more thing before we get off here, though. We got to talk about this national title game. You both love college. I love college. What's the deal, Empire? What's your thoughts on this?
I can't bet on college anymore, man. This bowl season's been terrible. Like
Ohio State. Did you have Ohio State? You did have Ohio State with me.
I did, but I didn't. I bet it big free. I had Oklahoma. I bet Oklahoma big, and it's just
right away you knew you were dead too in that game.
Oh yeah, he had 4 passes in a row where it was 40 or 50 yard passes through 3 guys, and his guy would just come down, high point at touchdown. It's what is going on?
That first half was seriously insane.
I have to look at the numbers now, but I think LSU has a decent home field advantage too.
It has to be pretty decent, right?
I think so. I don't know. This is a tough game.
And freaking Sunshine's never lost a football game, so that makes it.
Clemson's going to run good.
They definitely are going to run good. Pete, what do you think of this game just on the surface?
Yeah, so in these spots, my opinion means literally nothing. I'm just shopping around for the best price that I can get, some outlier price. And I was hoping.
The line right now, I didn't even see. Is it
it's 5.5, 6? Let me just
5.5 or 6?
It's 5.5 right now.
I saw it open at 4.5. I didn't look after that.
Yeah, I was away from my computer, but when I moved to 6, I was thinking that that'd be pretty sharp to grab.
I bet on Clemson at 6.
Yeah. 5.5 is obviously not a relevant number. I don't know. This is a classic spot where I'm just going to try to look for the best price.
You got to get on record here with what you like. We can't be riding no fence on the Print Factory.
Yeah, well, if I have no opinion, how can I not ride?
Then you can still make a pick. You can say you don't feel strongly, but you like this team or whatever.
5.5 minus 110 is just. I think the line moves back to 6 and you take Clemson.
You like Clemson plus 6.
I like Clemson.
You're that worried about that half point?
Of course, yeah, from 5.5 to 6. Are you kidding me?
6 doesn't bother me.
But look at Burrows might be one of the best quarterbacks ever, right?
That's what gives me pause.
Look at this team's schedule though. They beat 7 of the top 15 teams and they've pounded them.
I feel coming into the first game they were about evenly ranked. And now everyone's what he did to Oklahoma was just insane.
Yeah.
He threw for almost what was it, 400 yards in the first half.
And 6 touchdowns.
And none of the throws he made were easy.
Yeah.
He's the lock to be the number 1 pick now, assuming nothing tragic.
Bengals, if my Bengals jack this up, I swear to God,
they can't screw it up. It's too easy.
You can, and he's from Ohio. You can't mess this up. You just can't.
Yeah.
On the surface, I feel like LSU's the pick. That's why I'm trying to go against my recency bias brain.
It sucks that it's the public side too. Definitely the public side.
Problem.
Big T, who do you got?
I hate going with the public. I do, but I just think LSU's too good. I don't know. The smart side of me says I should take Clemson, but then I think about the 6 touchdowns and the 400 and what he did to Oklahoma and how good he's been. And they just have so many weapons too. And it's at home on turf.
Okay, let me just give a classic, and Empire knows this as well as anyone, and that's why, people think, and I do think Empire has savantish qualities when he's predicting sports, but he's very cognizant of price.
Is this the stroke? Is this what?
No, this is not a stroke. This is not a stroke. But if you notice, he's constantly looking for the best price, and I'm just looking around. I see Clemson plus 6 in one spot.
Well, yeah, get on account on Bovada and bet that. I can't bet on there, but that's
of course. Yeah, you're gonna be if you're sharp, you're gonna be limited. But a lot of times, I can bet $100 or whatever on most things, but for these big games, they'll let you bet.
No, but if you're like getting a good number, you're automatically plus EV.
Right. And so you can get Clemson +6 on Bovada.
If it's like a 2.5 and they're laying a 3 or a 6.5, they're laying a 7, you're just automatically plus EV.
That's what happened with the Vikings game. I mean, the whole market, all the sharp offshores, every legal book has 7, and they have 8.
The problem is if you start doing that, they're going to notice. So, I mean, you probably like
yeah, that's why you got to have friends. And, the one thing from my perspective is that a lot of times they'll let you bet the big games.
Yeah. So
that's it.
I mean, sports betting is hard. Like, a lot of people are going to lie to you, but that's the way to do it, is shop around. If you're trying to gamble and don't know that much, just find the best line.
It makes a massive difference, obviously, over the course of the year. Like, you save 1 or 2 bets a year by it, you're saving a ton of money.
Even on a $10,000 bet, you're like saving $1,000 a lot of time. That adds up.
It's like that deep brain chain. And when you get it early, I mean, the deep brain gets the job done.
Oh, don't go down this path.
I wasn't on Grinders Live telling that to everyone.
Can we talk about that? That was the pinnacle of looking back.
That's the pinnacle of altcoins is when Tony's like, you got to get in on there.
It was Grinders Live. Tony and Britt Devine. They're not even talking about the DFS slate. They're just talking about.
Oh, you guys are hurting me right now. I shouldn't have brought it up. I could have resisted.
Oh, that was. I mean, in hindsight, that was the most obvious sell signal of all time. Britt Devine and Big T.
I'll never forget it either because it was at the highest it ever was. It was 65 cents.
That show. You had all
65 cents.
I think it's under
Empire got it at like 2 cents.
It might not even be 1/10 of a cent.
Oh, it's got to be under a cent for sure. Like, it's got to be like, yeah.
That's when everyone wants to get involved. It's kind of like betting. You got to go the other way. Sometimes.
Oh God, I was so excited. I was so confident too, because like.
Oh, you were so confident.
I was so confident. I was.
That was peak hysteria. None of it made any sense.
Oh
man.
Empire was sending Snapchats of like 1 million shares and dollars. I was so jealous. I just wanted a piece of it, and I was excited.
That's how you build empires, the pump and dump.
Oh, I mean,
hey, it's legal.
Who does it better than the Empire?
Oh, that is all time.
Yeah. What can you do?
All right, and as we're finishing up this recording here with these guys, my guy, C-Dome, Chris Randone, we've talked a ton about this fight with DC this week. He texted me. He wanted to come on. He wants to talk a little trash to DC. Have to give him the platform. So out of nowhere here, we got a surprise guest. My guy, C-Dome. What's going on, my man?
We got one more guest.
Man, nah, I mean, I don't really have any, trash to talk. I mean, I will say that I guess the audience out there is really mispresented because I'm not 5'10". Let's just throw that out there real quick.
What are we at? How tall are we?
We don't know.
I'm 6'2", 6'2.5", and about 190 pounds, and I plan on getting to 205, throughout this. So, there's some things that just need to be ironed out today. I'm going to make a statement later today to announce that, this is going to definitely go down, and really excited because I'm a huge advocate for health and wellness, and this is a great time to take this platform and to fight for something I believe in. So it's not about Twitter or beef. I think, taking it to a positive level and to influence a lot of people out there, I think we can make a real impact with, this fight. So definitely going to use it as a platform, and I'm excited, man. I mean, a lot of my friends and family are really excited, and this is going to be very interesting, but yeah.
What are you thinking for venue and date? Do you have anything like in mind?
I think basically what they want to do is either one of the live finals. So LA FanDuel or Hoboken for DraftKings. Obviously DraftKings, you can sports bet.
Yeah, that'd probably be the play, I think. So when is that?
That was the plan we had originally. The opening weekend of March Madness, so it's Thursday, Friday, we'd watch all the March Madness games and hang out, bet games, do all that. And then Friday night would be the fight. And then Saturday, Sunday, more stuff like that. And the NBA
fights are always on Saturday.
Well, anyways, in there, yeah, Saturday, Friday, whatever it is, Saturday.
Yeah.
It'd be perfect. The only problem with Saturday is the DK final is Saturday.
Oh, okay. So then probably Friday.
I would say Friday, Friday night fights. Didn't they used to do that on ESPN?
Yeah, Friday night fights.
Yeah. So that'd be
Empire's already got money down on you too, C-Dome.
Yeah. I mean, he's my guy. I gotta take my guy. This is
how sharp Empire is too. Like the line, so whatever it is.
10K free roll too. No one else is throwing out money.
That's true. We should have touched on that. What did you offer to do, Empire?
I just said, cause I know there's some all these fights. It's kind of sketchy if it's going to go down or not. But now they have a reason they can't deny the fight. There's 10,000 added for nothing. Just the winner, no odds. Whoever wins
Great
the fight.
winner. Whoever wins, you're giving 10K to.
Yeah. Cause I can't see another one of these not go down.
See, Dome, it's going to happen, right?
I'm sure,
I'm playing for a really big charity that I believe in that has struck home to me. And I mean, at the end of the day, this whole week has been disastrous mentally, emotionally, because obviously you get tied into these things. It brought me to back in the old days of being on The Bachelor. But you realize that you could take it for how you want to roll with it. And I'm going to take this as a positive thing and actually fight for something that I believe in. I think that's going to really motivate me even more. But I'll tell you what, man, even though I didn't commit all this whole week because I was really unsure, been in the gym every day. Crystal's got me on a real strict diet right now. I've seen
it. He is on a strict diet.
Now, I got my sister, I told you, Big T, she's really good friends with Anderson Silva and his team. And so, they're going to be training me throughout this process.
You can't be scaring DC off here before we get a commit. I mean, you can't be coming in too hard.
Question all the action here, bud.
I mean, you're killing here.
I was saying the line's minus 300, and
I mean,
moving it to minus 500 with all this talk.
All right, so you're doing the opposite of what you should be doing. But charity, talk about the charity and say I'm not.
Yeah, I'm just going to focus on the charity, but I am getting trained for first round knockout. So if you guys want to do
first round knockout too, I like it.
Ooh, we could probably get some props on that.
Yeah, I would go for I think the prop bets is where the action should lie the most, but the way that I'm focusing and the way that I'm going to be doing this is I'm going to be silent this entire time and just really focus on really making this something special. And I'm excited, man. This is something where I already take care of my body, but now I'm going to take it to the extreme. I'm looking
forward. You're selling it again now. You're scaring them off again.
Listen, I'm just excited to Bachelor.
Tell him you're going to eat cheeseburgers or something.
He's man.
Bachelor.
We're going to hang out with Big T for a week.
Hey, easy now. Don't be subtweeting Big T on here. Telling him that.
Listen, they made the line, man. It's plus 155 for me, and I don't think anything should have an influence.
Whoever made that line should never make another line again.
Empire laid minus 200 on you. He said, I don't even care what the line.
I'm willing to take more. I'm willing to take a lot.
I'm willing to take a lot.
I'm telling you right now, it's going to happen. The only way that it doesn't if he backs out, and I could see that happening. I think Big T, that's what we talked about. That's what makes me nervous is, when it becomes more and more real, and it gets closer, obviously, you got to question your ego and pride. Are you going to put that aside and just, man up and get in there and fight for what you believe?
I think he's trying to challenge people who he thinks will never fight, and that's why he's undefeated in these fights. He's he knew Siege was never going to take the fight, but now you're stepping up. You're I'm going to do this for sure. Now he has to step up and do it, or he's going to be the laughing stock of Twitter.
Yeah, it's like I said, I'm making a little
statement. You run your mouth so much, and then you got to fucking fight.
I'll be posting a statement here shortly on Twitter, and then that's when it'll be real and everything's going down. So I'm excited, man. It's gonna be I can't talk trash because that's not really who I am. I'm more about positivity. So just wish good luck and see you in there.
All right, sounds good. We're looking forward to this fight. I'll promote it. I'll announce it. We'll sell tickets for charity.
We're getting excited here. This is gonna be good stuff.
We'll get some undercard fights.
We got to get C-Dome in the golf course too at some point with us. His golf game, he got owned a little bit on the golf course though.
Well, I'm moving to San Diego in March, and we're gonna.
Oh, you're moving there?
Where are you gonna be living?
I think Pacific Gate.
Oh, okay.
Mid-March.
Oh wow. Yeah, I like that, Brandon. Yeah, I mean we get on the golf course anytime.
All right.
Big T, don't lie to them. You're scared of the iron game. I drove you with the irons.
All right. I got to get going, though.
All right, guys.
All righty, man.
All right, take care.
Yeah.
Thanks for coming on.
See you guys.
See you, man. CSU. Yeah, everyone kind of left. But like always, if you like this podcast, please go on wherever you download the podcasts, whether it's on iTunes, Google Store, wherever. Give us a subscribe, give us a like, and let us know that you like these podcasts so we can keep doing them. But I think it was a pretty good one. Good luck this weekend. Let's get these giblets, and we'll see you next time.